Blake Lively did not understand TikTok, and that one fact explains everything and why this is completely blown up. I do think part of this is because Blake Lively has been famous for a long time. Famous in a conventional manner, famous from movies, famous from having famous friends. So she always had a natural following on things like IG. She never had to go through like an awkward phase of like a normal person posting on IG, trying to keep up with the Joneses, looking like, oh my gosh, that's such a curated post. How did somebody get such a pretty picture? She never really had to like go through that struggle of like building a following that way too, because she just naturally had one from being in movies and being friends with Taylor Swift. So when TikTok came around and really became popular on the backlash of Instagram of being like, it's too curated. This is 30 seconds of someone's life. They stood on a dangerous mountain to get that picture. It's not realistic at all. It's heavily edited. She didn't understand that. And she didn't understand why people like TikTok. And this is a major flaw for her because TikTok made this book. Colleen Hoover credits TikTok with the success of It Ends With Us. It blew up on Book Talk. And Blake admits to not reading the whole book, which is just insane to me. It is insane to me. Where she says, I believe in her deposition, just so I'm not getting it wrong here, she says something along the lines of like, I read bits and pieces of it. I'm not quoting that directly, but that's what I recall. Over the course of months. That I think were already during filming. It's like, no, if you signed on and you were getting paid millions of dollars, you should have taken a weekend and read the book. It's pretty easy. And that's what doesn't fly with people on this application. They can sense the inauthenticity. It's too early for me. Sorry. Inauthenticness, I guess. I need more coffee. She ran this by an old playbook from like a press play, a media play, and she should have like come on here and become part of Book Talk, talked to people, created her own audience, been more personal about it, she should have like spoken about different points of the book. She should have leaned into it. I think she kind of quoted in one of the things like Taylor Swift saying, well, sometimes the audience doesn't know what they want. But then in the same vein, Taylor Swift is also very aware of her audience and does know what they want. Like, for instance, they wanted a more pop album, and that's what she gave them on her last one. And so I think if she had been dialed in more with the TikTok crew, we might not be here. It's just wild to me how kind of circular this is. Like, the book became famous from TikTok, and then she got so much backlash on TikTok for how she promoted the movie, and then she alleged a smear campaign, and then it blew up because of the litigation also on TikTok, and then she subpoenaed content creators, which is just wild to me. And that last thing there tells she had just absolutely no pulse on TikTok and what TikTok is, which does, I mean, what TikTok is does scare me a bit because I am aware of like algorithm manipulation, and that is certainly something to think about. And I do think Blake maybe thought she could override that in some capacity. That's just my thought and opinion on her.